Hello there, thank you for tuning in again. Work on the old F250 here continues. I'm sorry about the wind. You should be able to hear me fine though. So, as you can see, I got the fan shroud and the fan pulley off, as well as the tensioner and the idler, and I got all that off. Kind of cleaned all this up. We got her moved. And, I got a thermostat ordered yesterday. O'Reilly was able to find me a thermostat, and probably the last thermostat for this engine in the country, the way the guy on the phone was talking. But got her ordered. That's all that matters. Should be here next week sometime. But I got all this off. If you have to take the fan shroud off and the fan and the pulley for said fan, then what you're going to want to do is grab your 36-inch pipe wrench and your 1 7/8 wrench, and then what you're going to want to do, well, your pulley goes on there. That's an artist's rendering, but your pulley goes on there, so you're going to want to take your pipe wrench and hold this pulley, and then take your regular wrench and set it on your fan nut, and then you want to turn your wrench that way, your regular wrench, because this is counterclockwise is loosen on this. Okay, so you want to turn your nut that way to loosen it. Now, if your fan nut is being stubborn, and mine was, then grab your 2-pound hammer, set your wrench up, and just give her a good whack. Strike it a couple times with that hammer, and that nut ought to break loose if your pipe wrench is holding. Now, the disadvantage to using the pipe wrench over the chain wrench, let me get this turned around here, is that you're going to have to file your pulley back down. And, that's actually pretty bad there. If your pipe wrench is any good, you're going to have to file your pulley back down, what with the teeth on that wrench being sharp and all. But, that's okay. I don't know how much a chain wrench is. I'm just going to assume it's $50. I haven't looked. But for the price of, well, hell, even if it's $35, I can do a lot of filing and sanding with emery cloth for $35 frickin'. So I'll get that all smoothed up, and it won't hurt that belt any. If it does, then I'll come back on here and eat my words. Yeah. So I got all that off. They made a bit of a mess. I'm going to run the air compressor and the blower through here again and really get stuff cleaned up. But the biggest reason I'm making this video is because I put a better battery in. That one's it's got more charge in it. But I put a better battery in, and I was in there just kind of bumping the starter a bit to see if the engine was seized. Well, it was a little slow at first, just kind of slow, and then it'd pick up a little bit, and then it turned just a tad, and she fired right up. So naturally, since I didn't have, serpentine belt or an alternator or coolant in this, I promptly shut it off. But I tell you what, that almost 4-year-old gas, it's a real trooper. I can tell you that. It smells rancid, but it burns because the engine started. So the engine's not seized. She runs. I don't know how well she runs, but, she runs. That's all that matters. I'm probably going to mix that rancid gas with new gas. I might do a 25 to 75 ratio, 25% old gas, 75% new gas, and burn it, because I've got like 3/4 of a tank, and gas is, about $3.10, $3.20 a gallon, depending on what station you go to around here, which is ungodly expensive. It's just ridiculous, but everything else still looks okay. They haven't eaten too much off. Well, they've got some wires chewed on, but nothing important. The service engine soon light is on, but there's no error codes, so we are golden. Let me see. All right, so that's about it for the engine side. I've got everything on the way. I've got my tensioner, which goes right here, these 3 bolts, and then my idler, that goes right here. As you can see, let me get you guys down in here. As you can see, the old tensioner was getting a little happy with the timing cover there, but it's not enough to damage it. It's just a little bit on the surface. It's not enough for me to really worry about. I'll damn wind. Well, I'll take you guys over to the fuel tank here and tell you what my plan is. And then I think that'll about do it for this video. But we come around. Yeah, see, there's the fan shroud. There's 2 bolts up top that hold it. And then down below, you've got these little pegs that you got to line up. Well, let me get back in here real quick before I forget, because I'm trying to make this helpful. So, well, there's one bolt, and then the other one is right there. So, down below, let me get the camera situated. Down below, right there, right where my finger is at, that's where you want to line those pegs up for your fan shroud. That's going to make sure that it doesn't, you know, just party right into your fan, because you don't want to do that. But, yeah, just make sure you do that and you should be good. Let's go around to the back end, shall we? Well, cover the camera, sorry. All right, so, ow! Hit myself on the pickup bed. That hurt. All right, well, there be your fuel pump. You got both your fuel lines, and then you got your, I guess, power. And then you've got your fill lines, and, well, that's your fill, and that's your return, or your overflow. I'm sorry, that's your overflow, that's your fill tube. And then you've got yourself a line back there. I don't know if you can see it. And then you've got another one right back there. Now, as you can probably tell, this is a flatbed. We had a flatbed put on it. Let me, just a second here. Let me just situate my mat again so I can sit down. Oh, there. Oh, that's better. So, to get the gas tank out right here, I'm going to pop that strap off right here, and, well, this strap off right here, and those straps should give me enough room to go ahead and drop this tank right out. I could disconnect my fuel fill and overflow hoses right here, which isn't very far away from the fuel fill there. But I can get all that off, and then once I get myself a fuel disconnect tool, because, well, I don't have one. I lost it. But once I get that done, then those can come off. And then I should be able to, you know what, let me get you back up in here again. I'm not trying to make you guys sick with the bad camera work, but this ring right here pops off, and then your whole fuel assembly should just lift on out. And then I can go ahead and put the new pump in and hook everything up. And you know what? It shouldn't be that bad. It really shouldn't. But like I said, it's got 3/4 of a tank of gas, I think. I'm going to double check here in a minute, but it's got gas in it. That's the point. That's the biggest point here. But everything else back here, I mean, outside of, well, those wires there have been, ouch, chewed on. There's all sorts of sharp stuff to cut yourself on, but those have been chewed on. Trying to watch what I'm doing and trying to watch what I'm doing with the camera at the same time, and I end up just hurting myself. I hope it's worth it, you guys. I tell you, the wind's better today than it was yesterday, but rust doesn't look too bad down there. Still got my, I don't know what that is, brakes? You don't need brakes. That's what park is for, right? And hills. What else was I going to show? Oh, yeah. I was going to see how much fuel was still in it. If we, oh, disregard that rat poison there. Here. Have a look at that seat while I, clean stuff. Well, we'll just set that rat poison there. But, let's see if we get in here and give you guys a fuel gauge. As you can tell, that dinger doesn't stop working, but okay, half a tank. You know, I don't know that the fuel level sender is working correctly, because the last time I turned the key on, it showed 3/4 of a tank. But I think I've got half a tank, boys. I really do. I don't have oil pressure, just so you know. But yeah, 187,000 miles is when she went down. I drove 100 miles. We filled this on the 18th of March. Or no, the 25th of March, 2018. I wrote it down because I was going to figure out the fuel economy. And I reset the mileage, and I got about 100 miles before it gave out. So I don't think that fuel level sender is right, because there's no way I burned 20 gallons of gas in 100 miles. That ain't right. Well, a little less than 20, probably close to 16 or 17. But there ain't no way I burned that much gas in 100 miles of driving. That's just unsightly. But everything else works. This turns on. I don't know if the air conditioner part works, but the blower motor still works. Radio still works. Some of the lights still work, not all of them. So I've got some wiring work to do after I get all my parts on, which, as you can see, there's one box, and then there's the other box, and then there's all this other stuff I've piled in over the years. But you know, I'm pretty happy. The fact that this thing turns and it fired up even a little bit, you know, that tells me it's going to be all right. If I keep the rats out of it, I should be good to go. I should be good to go. So that's really about all I got for today. I'm working on this whenever I get time, but other stuff comes up I need to do, and you know, I got a part-time job that I got to go deal with, and that's in addition to all the farm work, so it never ends. It never ends. But I'm making videos whenever I can, keep you guys kind of updated. Maybe somebody that's working on one of these wants some advice. Oh, here's another piece of advice for you. See that down there by your passenger side door? There's a panel there. Well, hang on. Let me. Well, I zoomed in and now I need to zoom back out. This thing says fuel reset right there. Okay, when it goes on, well, it sits like that, but you pop that thing off. There's a peg. It looks like that, and that peg goes in through the side to help hold it. Right, come on, right there, right where I'm pointing. So that peg goes in there to help hold that panel, and then it kind of sits underneath the running board along the side. I would show you, but if I open that door, you won't be able to hear me. The wind is just fierce on that side. But the point is, you pop that panel off, and then you can get down in there and disconnect your wire from your, and it's that one right there. No, don't focus on my finger. Focus on that. It's that piece right there. That's what you want to disconnect from your fuel reset switch. That should depressurize your fuel system. If nothing else, it disconnects your fuel pump. You probably just ought to disconnect your battery if you're going to do any fuel system work. But that should depressurize it so that when you go to change your filter, it doesn't just spew gas everywhere. You know, it's a little cleaner. And then when you're done, just plug her back in and press the reset button, and you should be good to go. Yeah, I know I'm really good at explaining stuff without a script. Very, very good. I mean, is that not the best explanation of anything you've ever heard? Sound like Joe Biden more and more every day, I swear. But, well, I better cut it off here. I don't have much else to say, and I'm just going to keep stumbling around with my words. So that's what's been going on. That's kind of how you take that stuff off. When I do reassembly, I'm going to try and take more time to show you guys how stuff is done, but I don't know. I'm short on time, darn it. Who isn't these days? But I'm short on time. I got too much to do. I need to get this thing running so we have an extra vehicle around here. So I'll film when I can, but no promises on the quality. Regardless, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you back here again.